Hi, my name is Victor, and this video is a follow-up from another video where I showed how to create the synth sound from Voodoo people in FL Studio with Citrus. In the comments I was asked for a Midi file, which I'm finally going to share now, especially if you subscribe. Like, if you want the Midi file, please subscribe. I mean, you can still get it without subscribing, but I would really appreciate that. And I make good music. You can find good music on my channel. So we're talking also about creating that sound in a different synth, not Citrus. And I thought I lost the file since I changed my computer. But I finally found the original file that I did, and this is the original sound that I made. And I think it's pretty close to the original. If you want to listen to the original, just listen to the original. So I love Citrus. I think it's one of the most powerful synths ever made. I really like the matrix here, even though I'm not using it too much. Like, if you want to know how this sound was created, go to the other video first. And here in this video I'm going to show how to create something similar with 3OSC, which is one of the most simple synths ever. Like, it's just 3 oscillators, and the sound is not that close to the original. I have to say, the sound is not exactly the same. I wouldn't really use it if I was recreating the track, but it is interesting to see how it is made, and let's give it a listen. So you can see, or you can probably hear, not see, that there is the sound is similar, but it's not quite there. Anyway, I don't really want to spend more time on recreating this sound with 3OSC. But as I mentioned in the previous video, the main part of this sound is the filtering. Because when you think about it, when the song was created, pretty much all the sounds were made mainly by filtering. And the synths were more basic, but the filters on analog synths work great. So what do we have here? Like in the first sound, the original sound, I made everything in Citrus. I mean, I didn't use any effects. I mean, I have a couple of effects here, but I'm not really using them. That's it. It all comes from Citrus, because Citrus has these modules. It has these operators, and which are kind of like oscillators, but more complex, and we can actually morph these. And then we have the filters, and then we have the effects. So for example, if I turn off the effects from this sound, it sounds dry, like this. And if I turn off the filter, oops, so yeah, if I go to the filter and I turn off the filter, this is filter 2, filter 1, so I turn off the wave shaper and the filter. This is the beginning of the sound. Of course, when you listen to this sound, you can hear that there is a lot of distortion, so you can just try turning that on by default. And an interesting thing is like to get this high like guitar solo frequencies, we need to add a filter. And it's a filter with a really high resonance. The high resonance is actually giving this high pitch, because if you know what the resonance does, actually, if I open the parametric equalizer here, so the low pass filter is basically this. This is a low pass. We just remove frequency from the top, and the resonance is this. So when we increase the resonance, it's actually creating this steep bump here. So we are pushing up those frequencies here, and that's why we are getting these high pitch notes when we have higher values for the resonance here. And then when we apply the wave shaper, the distortion to this, it gets distorted. And that's it. It's just a certain type of low pass filter, the lime low pass, the cut. And there's something more actually. You can hear that there is movement, and this movement is created with the cut. This is the cut envelope, and there is also key modulation, which means that lower keys have different settings for the cut compared to higher keys. But when we try to do this with 3OSC, here we only have the oscillators. We don't have anything else. So that's why I'm using these effects. Not too many though. Fruity Blood Overdrive, the Love filter, which makes most of the things, and the delay bank and reverb. And if I turn all of these off, this is the bass sound that I get. Let me turn off this. Are they similar? Well, this one is a little bit softer. But the thing is, here with these operators you can just morph and shift and do anything with our waveforms. And in 3OSC, what I've done here is actually I'm using this sawtooth. Was this a sawtooth? Or was this a triangle? Let me check. Yeah, it is a sawtooth. And first I used that thing only. So we can hear that it sounds similar. We can actually try and turn on the effects on this one alone. Once again, you can hear that most of the job is done from the effects. I can't stress this enough. Then, if I'm actually to show you what I'm doing here, I can use the wave candy, which is really useful, and I'm putting it here before the effects. So this is the sawtooth. I can actually put one on the citrus. So now we have two. This is the citrus. Let's turn it on. Why isn't it working? Because it's turned off. If we turn them both on, we can actually see what we hear. So the character is a bit different, and that's why I'm using the third oscillators as amplitude modulation, and I've set it to sine wave. And we can more see the difference than hear it. Actually, if I increase the pitch, it's gonna be really obvious. And then what I also did, even though I'm not sure if it's right, I turned this on a little bit. Now we can actually try different things here. This inverting. Can go and use an envelope. This is something I didn't do, but we can actually get just a little bit of attack, so it's not so hard. So we don't get that click. And this one is also a bit more thick, so what I can actually do here is I can use equalizer. Okay, good enough. Then the first thing I've added, even though this is optional, is the Bluetooth overdrive to give it a little more texture. Even though this is a minor difference. The main job is done by the low filter. And you can actually see that in the low filter we have many of the options of the filters in Citrus. So I'm using only one of the filters. We can stack up to 8 of them. And I'm using the same Lime low pass triple, and I'm also using the same type of wave shaper with pretty much the same shape. And here I'm using the cut with the high resonance. And one difference is that here, because we are in the effects, we can't actually use the key mapping. So instead of a key mapping, I've just drawn an automation here. This is automating our X value. And if you click here on cut, you can actually see all the modulations for this cut. You can turn on an LFO. What I'm using here is this pattern envelope. And this is another envelope. And mode X, what does that mean? It pretty much sends that modulation to the X knob. And this, if this is in the middle here, this should be in the middle as well. And if we draw it like this, for example, it will do a lot more changing in the knob. Not in the knob itself, but changing in the cuts. This, as you can hear, is just the beginning of the song. And this is doing the same thing. But having both of them is giving us more control in this case, and the pattern is something you can use to create patterns similar to LFO. I tried using LFO, but I decided just to draw this shape here to kind of simulate the key mapping. So I have different values where I'm having lower notes. For more explanation on this, again, see the other video. And then I'm just using a fruity delay. With the short time, normal feedback, nothing special. And fruity reverb, again, nothing special. A little bit of pre-delay. What was my first sound again? Let me turn everything back on. So filter, wave shaper and effects. Yeah, it still sounds better, but we have the same character of the sound. So that's it from me. And yeah, I'm going to share the whole project because I'm too lazy to export the Midi file. And yeah, if I have to sum it up, what is this sound? It is first and most important thing is the melody. Sorry, I'm not. It's like really late where I live, so yeah. Sorry for not really speaking energetically and waving my hands and everything. But yeah, this melody, this sound is first the melody, the actual notes, and then it's a lot of filtering with high resonance and distortion here made with the wave shape. You can of course use the other wave shape, bro. But why do so if we have it inside the low filter? And this is the Voodoo People sound with 3 OST. I hope you enjoyed the video, even though I was really tired. But I made this and I wanted to share it with you since you've asked about it. And thanks for watching. If it helped you, subscribe, like. If you think it's shit, tell me it's shit. I'll do better next time. Thank you once again. Bye bye. Till next time. Listen to my music.